This is the third and final video for section 20.1, and in this video we're going to work backwards from the equations and find the center and radius of a circle. So we'll start off with a simple example. This one here, we've got x squared plus y squared equals 81. And in this case, we could think about this as really being x minus 0 quantity squared plus y minus 0 quantity squared, because that would just get us x squared and y squared is equal to, and the square root of 81 is 9 squared. So this tells us that our center is at the origin, 0, 0, and our radius is 9. So again, that's kind of the simplest version we can have if we have x squared plus y squared is equal to a number. If, however, we have anything more complicated than that, we need to use a technique called completing the square. And you may have seen this before or you may not, so I'm going to walk you through it. But essentially it's going to be based off the fact that we know that if we had, for instance, x plus h quantity squared, if we were to expand this out, we would get x squared plus 2hx plus h squared. And we want to suppose that we want this to be in the form x squared plus bx plus half of b squared, because this would really get us to a perfect square. And if we add that b plus 2 squared, we would also have to subtract our b plus 2 squared. So essentially what we're doing here is we're noticing that your 2h is equal to b, and that your h squared is going to be split up into these. So h is actually going to be b over 2. Again, we're just adding and subtracting 0 here. So that's going to be our method for going about this. Whatever half of this number is that we have there, we're going to add and subtract it from whatever h was, so that we can get a perfect square. It's a little bit easier when you actually work through it. So, first example here, we're going to have to do this for both x and y, this completing the square. We're going to rewrite this in order, x squared minus 12x, so we put the x pieces together, and then we're going to leave a little space, and then we're going to have plus y squared, and then we've got our minus 2y, and then again we're going to leave a little space, and then we've got our minus 12. So what we are going to add and subtract here is going to be half of what we had as a coefficient on just the linear term, so the negative 12x. So this is really going to be plus a negative 12 over 2 squared. Similarly for y, we're going to look here. This is going to be plus negative 2 over 2 squared. And obviously we're going to simplify things a little bit. So we're also going to need, since we added it here, we're going to subtract negative 12 over 2 squared. And since we added this, we are also going to subtract negative 2 over 2 squared. And this is still all just equal to 0. So if we simplify here, we get x squared minus 12x. Negative 12 divided by 2 is 6, negative 6, and negative 6 squared is plus 36. If we look at our y piece, we get y squared minus 2y, and then negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. You square that, you get plus 1. And then we've got minus 12 minus negative 6 squared. We already said this is going to be 36. So we added 36, we're going to subtract 36. Similarly, we added 1, we're going to subtract 1. So this all here is because of completing the square. So now we look at our x terms here together. You can see that this factors into x minus 6 quantity squared, which is what we wanted, kind of going backwards here to x plus h. And then we're going to look at these terms here. We're going to get plus a y minus 1 quantity squared. So again, if you look here, if you were to factor that, you get y minus 1 squared. And then you're just going to combine like terms here. So we have negative 12, negative 36, and minus 1 is going to give you a minus 49. So now that we have all of that, we're going to move the 49 to the other side, so this could be equal to 49. We're going to move that over there. And now we have our center, because we have our x coordinate is going to be 6, and our y coordinate is going to be 1. And we have 49 over here, so r is going to be the square root of 49, which is 7. So I want you to take a second here, look everything over. Again, we're adding and subtracting the same thing, so we're essentially just adding 0, but we're doing it so that we can get a perfect square, so that we can get things in the form we need them to be for a circle. So I want you to pause the video here and try this last example. So for this one, you should have found that your center was at negative 7/2, so this one kind of is an example when we don't have whole numbers, and that happens from time to time. And our y coordinate is negative 3. Again, both of these were positive, so that leads to negative coordinates. And then our radius is, again, not a nice clean number. If you wanted the exact form, again, if the answer is asking for it in exact form, we want the square root of 133 over 2, because the square root of 4 is 2. Or if we want an approximate, it's approximately 5.77. So this concludes the final video for section 20.1.